Hi everyone, welcome back to my JavaScript tutorials. In the previous video, I already discussed about some operators types. Okay, so in this video, I will discuss about another operators like bitwise operators, string operators and ternary operators. Okay, so let's start. So arithmetic operators, logical operators, and also assignment operators. These operators works on numbers, but bitwise operators works on binary representation. Okay, binary representation means it works only 0 and 1. Okay, so here if I write 5, so 5 is a decimal number. If I want to convert this decimal number into binary representation, this 5 binary representation is 1, 0 and 1. Okay, so bitwise operators works only this binary representation. Okay, so now the question is how we convert decimal to binary. We have to divide this 5 by 2 and we just take this remainder value. Okay, divided this 5 by 2 and just we take the remainder value. Okay, by this process I can convert decimal to binary. Okay, so bitwise operator works on this binary representation. So there are many bitwise operator like bitwise and bitwise and bitwise or and bitwise XOR, bitwise or another also. But we will only learn about bitwise and bitwise OR. Okay. So remember, this is bitwise and this single and is bitwise and this single OR is bitwise OR. But here, if I write bit this double and this is logical and. Okay. So remember. So now I write these rules of bitwise and. There is some rules of bitwise and operators. Okay, if one bitwise and one, that time it gives me one value. Okay, comment it. For one and one only, it gives me one value. For one and zero, it will give me zero value. Okay, for zero and one, it will give me zero value. Okay, and for 0 and 0, it will give me zero value. So this is the rules of bitwise and operator. Sorry, OS. This is the rules of bitwise or operator. Sorry, bitwise and operator. Here I will give you one example. Let A equals to 5. Okay, and let B equals to 2. Now, if I console.log this A, bitwise and B, save it and run it. Okay. So, it will give me 0. Why it gives me 0? Why it gives me 0? So, 5 binary representation is 101 and 2 binary representation is 010. Okay. Okay, 010. Then here I write A bitwise and B. So bitwise and how works like first it just end 1 and 0. For 1 and 0, bitwise and operator gives us 0 value. For 0 and 1, bitwise operator gives us 0 value. For 1 and 0, bitwise and operator gives us 0 value. Okay. So 000 means 0. That's why it gives me 0 value. Okay. Just I will show you another example. Like here, if I write let A equals to 6, okay, and let B equals to 3, okay. And now if I write console.log A and B, save it and run it, it will give me 2 value. Why? Because 6 binary representation is 110, okay, and 3 binary representation is 011, okay. Now I write here A and B, A bitwise and B. So bitwise AND operator and these two values, okay. So 0 and 1. So first here I write 0 and 1. For 0 and 1, it gives me 0 value. For 1 and 1, bitwise AND operator gives me 1. And for 1 and 0, it gives me 0 value. So 0, 1, 0. 0, 1, 0 decimal number is 2. That's why it gives me true value. Okay. So this is bitwise AND operator. Now we will learn about bitwise OR. So here I'll write bitwise OR operator rules. If 1 bitwise OR 1, it gives us 1 value. 0 or 1, it gives us 1. For 1 or 0, it gives us 0. For 0 or 0, that time only it gives us 0 value. Otherwise, it gives us 1. Okay. So remember these rules. By using these rules, now I will show some example. Like let A equals to 6. Okay. Then let B equals to 3. Then if here I write console.log A or B, save and run. Okay, it will give me 7. Why it gives me 7? Because 6 number is 110, 6 binary representation 110, and 3 binary representation is 011. Now here I write A bitwise or B. So bitwise OR operator how works? So for 0 and 1, it gives me 1 value. For 1 and 1, it gives me 1 value. And for 1 and 0, it gives me 1 value. So 1, 1 and 1. 1, 1 and 1 means 7. That's why it gives me 7. Okay. Comment it. Here I write this example. Let A equals to 5 and let B equals to 2. Then if I console this A bitwise or B, save it and run it, it gives me 7. Why it gives me 7? Because 5 binary representation 101 and 2 binary representation 010. Okay. So A or B. So 1 or 0. 1 or 0 always gives me 1. 0 or 1. 0 or 1 always gives me 1 value. Okay. And 1 or 0. 1 or 0 always gives me 1 value. Okay. So A or B. A or B, 1, 1, 1 means 7. 1, 1, 1 decimal number is 7. That's why it gives me 7 values. Okay. So now go to next operator. Next operator is string operators. We all know that plus operator helps us to add two numbers, two or more numbers. But this plus operator also helps us concatenate between two variables. Like here, if I write let first name equals to Madhumita. And sorry, MADHE. And last name equals to Das. Okay. Now I want to concatenate these two variable. Okay. Using plus operator. Just write console.log this first name plus last name. Okay. Save it, run it. It will gives me concatenate this first name and last name. If I want to space between Madhumita and Das, now here I have to use one inverted comma and then plus. Okay. So by this I can space between this last name and first name. Okay. So plus operator not only helps us to add two numbers, also plus operator helps us concatenate between two variables. Okay, this is called string operators also. Now go to next operator. Next operator is ternary operator. This is most useful operator. This ternary operator syntax is first you have to write condition. Any condition. First you have to write any condition, then just give a question mark. If this condition is true, then it will print the true value. Okay. Then just write a colon, and if the condition is false, then it will give you false values. Okay. So this is the syntax of ternary operator. First, you have to write condition and then you have to write a question mark. This condition, if true, then it gives you true value. If this condition is false, then it gives you false value. Okay, this is the syntax of ternary operator. Now, I will show you an example. Like just print if a person age is greater than equals to 18, then he is or she is eligible for vote. Otherwise, he or she is not eligible for vote. Okay, so this is the question. Here, I use ternary operator. Just declare a variable, let age equals to 20. Or you can give another age also. Now, if I write let result equals to, then I write ternary operator. First, I have to write condition is greater than equals to 18. I told that if a person is greater than equals to 18, she is or he is eligible for vote. Otherwise, he or she is not eligible for vote. So here condition is greater than equals to 18. Okay. Now give a question mark, and if it is true, then it will print you eligible for vote. Okay. Otherwise, it gives you not eligible for vote. Okay. And now console this result variable. Okay. Save it and run it. So here I already declare that age equals to 20. So 20 greater than equals to 18. Yes. So that's why it gives me true value. If here I write only 2. Okay. That time it gives me the false value. Not eligible for vote. Okay. So this is the simple example of ternary operator. I can give you also another example. Okay, like if I write let marks or let score equals to 90. Okay, then here I write let result equals to, if the score, first just see what I write. Okay, score greater than equals to 90. Okay, it will give me A grade. Okay, otherwise it give just check. Sorry, is your score greater than equals to 18? That time, it gives you B grade. Then again I check greater than equals to 70 question mark. Then just print C. And if score otherwise, no, just here I write otherwise it gives me D. Okay. And now if I print this result, okay, then it gives me A. If here, so how this ternary operator works? Okay, listen. Here I declare a variable score, okay, 90. Okay, now I want to print grade number based on their marks or score. Okay, so here I write let result equals to, now I give a condition if score greater than equals to 90. If the score greater than equals to 90, it gives me A grade. Okay, otherwise in the false condition, again I want to check one condition. Okay, write score, if the score greater than equals to 80, then it gives me B value, B grade. Okay, then if it is false, again I check another condition like score greater than equals to if 70, that time it gives me C. Okay, otherwise it gives me D. So if hold the condition, if the in the condition is false, that time only gives me D. Otherwise, if the condition, if the like score equals to 90, so score greater than equals to 90. Okay, this is true. That's why it gives me A. If I write here 80, okay, it gives me get B. Because why? Because first it checks score greater than equals to 90. No, score not greater than equals to 90. So it will go to the false value. In the false, there is also a condition score greater than equals to 80. Yes, score greater than equals to less, score equals to 80. Okay, so it will give me B grade. Here, if I write 70, then it is false. Score not greater than equals to 80. So it will it will go to the next condition, the false condition. False condition, here I write score greater than equals to 70. Yes, score greater than equals to 70. That time it gives me C. Okay, but here if I write 50, okay, it gives me D value. Why? Because these condition are false. That time it gives me D value. Okay, by using this also I can here use ternary operator. Okay, so this is the most useful operator. We have to use many times this ternary operator. Okay, so this all about operators, ternary operators, string operators, and bitwise operators. So that's all for today. In the next video, we will learn about conditional statement like if, else, and else if. Okay, so keep learning and keep practicing.